All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and checking out our video today. I've got John Schultz with me here, and he and I were just up at CPA Day and CalCPA Council Legislative Summit, which was an awesome time. I'm Dalton Sweeney. I am the Inland Empire Chapter President, and John has so many roles that I will probably not get them all right, but I will do my best to name a few. He is a current Inland Empire Chapter board member. He is a state level board member. And he is also the chair of our committee on taxation. I may have missed some, but that's enough because he does a ton. So John, thank you for joining us today. We just got back from the CPA Day and Legislative Summit. And how was that for you? What was a highlight for you from those days?
I mean, hearing good things, right? Like hearing good things from, so I deal a lot with the legislative side of things. So we'll get that into a little bit, but definitely heard some great stuff from our speakers regarding where the state of the profession is going. Like Taika Dennis, our current chair, still doing great job and a great job of promoting our actual profession. You know, the whole coolest profession around. I can't tell you how many times I've used that hashtag just to be like, hey, like let's get it out there. And we actually used it in our legislative visits. We actually handed out pins and stickers during that, which is actually great. Like we actually got a lot of people motivated for it. And to see traction on that, I think Ty and even Denise had mentioned that Denise, our current CEO, had talked about how they're starting to campaign with this with other states, and even pairing with the AICPA to kind of launch this coolest profession around to all over the U.S.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I fully agree. Hearing how many different people from different angles are pairing together to try to solve some of the issues we're facing is encouraging, and no doubt. While you were up there for those couple of days in Sacramento, was there ever a moment where it was kind of like man, this is why I volunteer with CalCPA? Did you have any of those
Uh,
experiences?
I mean, it was the legislative visits were definitely a big part of that. I mean, when you get to sit down with somebody, especially the new ones. So I mean, we'll give a little bit of a treat here that there's a third of the entire legislative body of the state of California turned over this year, which is
Yeah,
huge. And so for us to get back in front of them and just talking about stuff and them not know some of these things, some of these big topics like regarding PTE, the pipeline, regarding financial literacy, that they don't realize that we were that resource. And so to get back in front of them and then like just bright eyes, right? The excitement for them to
yeah.
talk to us, and for them to know that we're that trusted advisor for the entire state of California and even beyond, which I think was just great to watch that and see get that enthusiasm from so many different of the legislative staff and aides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a meeting with Senator Portantino, who I'm a constituent of, and I had no idea that he was partially responsible for some of the cleanup that the PTE had in the second phase of it. I think number two or three. There's been a few
Yeah.
already. And so we were talking to him about this next little bit of cleanup that we're trying to get done. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I helped you guys last time. No worries. I can help again." And so I was like, "Man, what a difference we're able to make. You know, a little meeting." 15-minute meeting, but here it is going to help so many people. It's like, man, this is why we do what we do.
And then and then even other little stuff, right? Like the ability for us and how big of an impact we have from our little chapter level, right? Small but mighty here in the Inland Empire.
Yeah,
To talk about like our emerging leaders program, right? And how we can try to implement that and push that up to the state and get that out to the other chapters and keep that stuff going, right? And get just more people and more of these members involved.
yeah,
Getting, I mean, there's so many conversations involved around that, uh, from the actual council to the actual side meetings we are having and dinners and drinks in here and there, and everyone just talking about like how to engage more of our members, right, and give them something back. So
yeah, yeah. And speaking of members, is there anything that you heard or new information or maybe a different insight from something that you heard that you want to kind of kick back to membership and make them aware of?
not besides the stuff we had on the PTE updates, which I think we're gonna have. We've had some bigger, the GRC is or the Government Relations Committee has kind of put out that news blast, but I think our members definitely need to be looking out for that as we look for support for that coming up into the future. But other than that, attending these events and getting back out to those schools, right? Like getting back out now that everything's back in person, showing everyone in person who we are, right? I mean, we talk and we chit chat, we do these things, but it's like if the students and even high school students, everyone doesn't see what we're doing, then they're not going to get excited about it. We're gonna kind of lose that pipeline, right? And it goes back to that's our number one topic right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and I think for me, I think the only thing I would kick back is that just for members, if you're not aware with the PTE, the two issues that we're trying to tackle on that or clean up is just the June 15th deadline, not having to make a decision by that time, giving a little bit more time in that, and then also the refundability of it. And I would just share that in every conversation I had with either aides or legislators, they're really receptive to it. Nobody thought it was a bad idea. It was all like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I could see why that would be important. So hope, I guess, is a good word
Yeah.
to pass along. But
I mean, that was the big thing too, is I couldn't tell enough of them that it adds accessibility to everyone when we make those
yeah,
two small last little changes. It's like that opens the door and makes it easier for everyone to just go, yes, I want to participate in this. And I mean, shoot, if any of our members have questions on it, I mean, if anyone's watching this video, right, make sure they can reach out to me as the Committee on Taxation Chair. Like we have a lot of educational materials on this to even talk about how to implement this appropriately. This is not something simple for a lot of CPAs to implement.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Any final thoughts? Anything else you want to share that we didn't touch on yet?
Still love doing what I do and
Yeah,
just trying to get everyone passionate about it. I know you are as well. And so like that, we've got our future events coming up. So everyone just, make sure to attend and have a great season, right? We can't
yeah,
even call it a tax season anymore. It's just busy season
yeah.
because we're
It
all
is.
just busy.
Yeah, all the time, all the time. Well, thank you so much for the time today. Thank you everyone for watching and tuning into this update. If you want to get involved in further capacities, either with these kind of events or volunteering with us locally, check out our website. It's calcpa.org. And then John, yeah, just want to thank you again for your time and your efforts. And we hope to see everyone at an event soon.
Thanks, Dalton.